Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be like 75% scripted, and then you'll have my final thoughts, which is going to be purely from my head. So this topic is probably going to piss me off. Like, doing the research for this topic was so heartbreaking. I had to go into more research. That is why I have to script the video, because I was not going to remember all of that. But anyways, let's get into the video, because today we'll be discussing conversion therapy, or what some people call reparative therapy. If that's the word, I don't really care for the correct term. I don't care for the correct terminology of the word, because I am completely against this. It should not even be a thing. It should not. And I am psychology major somewhat, so yeah, I'm saying that with a bold chest. Let's get into the video. Let's get on to the script of the video. So you might be wondering, how did I come to talk about conversion therapy? Because I guess it's not really that popular anymore, no? Is it? Anyway, so I have scripted this video because I did research, and I did research because of I know some information or have an idea of what conversion therapy is. But in all honesty, I never really get too deep into it. I'm gonna be honest here. With that being said, I was thinking about it randomly and remembered a post on Twitter sometime last year. I remember this post going viral because it was about an internet sensation who went to conversion therapy, and I know it was like so huge on the internet, and I was like, okay. Personally, I've only known of that person. I've only known that person ever since the scandal, whatever you want to call it. Ever since the whole uproar, that's where I actually met that individual. I'm not gonna call the person's name because no, I hope they're actually doing good. They're in their faith. Kudos. Keep living good. Anyways, let's get a concise definition of conversion therapy. So, conversion therapy is the practice of harmful emotional and physical therapies used against the LGBTQ community to cure or repair a person's homosexuality, gender identity, and expression. It is considered to be a pseudoscience. Yes, it's a pseudoscience. Coming from a psychologist. No, I'm not a psychologist. That's my major ish. Alright, so I want to know how successful conversion therapy actually is. These are from some sources of the internet. I don't remember where I get this exact one from, but let's go. One US based survey of 206 conversion therapists conducted by prominent conversion therapy advocates found that 97% of conversion therapists strongly or mostly agree that a homosexual client may be capable of change to a heterosexual orientation. Okay, boo boo the fool. 93% strongly or mostly agree that homosexuality was a developmental disorder. So that's not okay. Let me just get through the script before I actually base my opinions, because baby, y'all know how to get me riled. Doing the research got me riled. Carrying on. 90% strongly or mostly agree that the American Psychiatric Association's decision to disclassify, oh my god, to declassify homosexuality as a mental disorder in 1973 was politically motivated. Let me move on. 63% believe it could be helpful to bring Do I want to read this? 63% believe it could be helpful to bring prayer into therapeutic settings. Okay, Mr. Nicholas C. Birdie and Potts. Anyways, it is said that most conversion therapists consider same-sex relationship as an addiction. It might be. It just might be. Interesting piece of shit. Anyways, let's also take into the consideration that most of these so-called therapists have no medical license. Like, literally, they are literally just going off religious or spiritual beliefs. Like, literally, like, they have no no license to. Well, I want to know how. Who actually was the first person who thought of this? Like, I want to know what you were going through in life when you thought that, oh, there's a cure for gay. Were you gay? Were you cured? Were you cured? I want to know that. I want to know honestly, like, what was going on in your life that you come up with this concept? I guess back then people were just brainstorming random shit, random shits, and yeah, I guess that was one of them, innit? So the next question now, babes. What does conversion therapy actually consist of? Well, according to WebMD, it can range from psychotherapy, that is talk therapy, to medical and faith-based methods that can be emotional or physical. Okay, let's get into these methods a little bit more. So the psychotherapy or the talk therapy is the most widely used one. Providers might also try behavioral, interpersonal, and cognitive therapies. Some teach stereotypical masculine and feminine behaviors or use hypnosis to try to change the thought pattern for same sex attraction. Another commonly used method is called aversion therapy. So, this practice, people are exposed to painful or uncomfortable sensation like electric shocks, nausea, or paralysis causing drugs. This is done in hopes of forming a negative association with the person's attraction or identity to correct it. Now, imagine people without license doing this to a fucking child. Just imagine. Medical methods. So this includes medicine, hormone, or steroid therapies. In extreme cases, gender-affirming surgeries are done to neutralize sexual or oh my fucking god. Gender-affirming surgeries are done to neutralize sexual orientations, especially among transgender people. The faith based methods, in some religious practices, homosexuality and other form of gender expression and identity are sometimes all the time viewed as evil. Conversion therapy is sometimes performed by clergy or other spiritual advisors. It may include using anti-gay slurs in church. We're using slurs in church now. It may include using anti-gay slurs and prayers. In severe cases, it could also include beating, shackling, food deprivation, and even exorcism. And you tell me this is not abuse? As I said, I'm going to keep my thoughts for the end of the video. I'm really trying. In 2013, the American Psychiatric Association, the APA, removed gender identity disorder from its diagnostic manual. The APA now refers to conversion therapy techniques as sexual orientation change efforts, SOCE, or gender identity change effort. It coined the terms to differentiate from evidence-based form of therapy, but providers, usually unlicensed, can often disguise the term they use to avoid being found. Okay, so let's get into the harms now. Conversion therapy negatively impacts self-esteem and overall well-being, leading many medical and mental health organizations to reject it, as they should. Often, those providing it are unlicensed, we've mentioned that before. Studies show that LGBTQ individuals who face rejection or discrimination are 8 times more likely to self exit, 6 times more likely to experience severe depression, 3 times more likely to use illegal drugs, and 3 times more likely to be high risk for STIs. Let's get into some testimonials now. So I did find this one on Google. Is it Google? Because I use my laptop, so it couldn't be Google. I'm using I don't even know what this tool is called, but it's from Anthony Taylor. It's a summarized version. So he said, at first, conversion therapy seems welcoming. That's to be expected. Just a friendly conversation over coffee. The therapist appeared kind, and I even felt comfortable sharing deep emotions. But beneath the surface, it was anything but helpful. In 2011, as a 21-year-old university student struggling with my identity, I clung to the hope that this will fix me. Okay. Instead, my unhappiness only deepened, and my life continued to spiral despite following everything I was told would help. Now, he said, looking back, the so called therapy he underwent was both laughable and deeply disturbing. Using manipulation tactics like cold reading, his therapist preyed on his emotion, convincing him that his natural feelings were simply misinterpreted. What started as a search for alignment between his faith and sexuality quickly turned into self hatred and emotional turmoil. As his mental health spiraled, he found himself battling self existing oh my god, self exiting thoughts until he finally reached out for help. So that was his story as surviving conversion therapy. So he is a survivor. Now I went on Reddit and I was trying to look through some threads, and can you believe in those threads, guys? You would not believe I have actual young teenagers asking how they can get themselves into conversion therapy. Some of them, I remember reading one comment that says she felt like she was disappointing Jesus. Some of them feel like it will make their parents love them more. You know, but babes, let me tell you something. Jesus is love. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. If you do believe in Christianity or whatever religion you're from, if you believe in Jesus, you believe that he died on the cross for you, for your sin. And only someone who loves you can do that. So, come on, baby. And if your parents truly love you, they will not want you to change something that you really can't change about yourself. Something simple as loving who you want to love. Oh my God, don't let me get into that. Alright, so as I said, I went through some Reddit threads, and this is like a summarized version of what I found. Okay, survivors recall being threatened with eternal damnation if they left the therapy. Falsely warned that their sexuality would lead to self exiting until they could not be LGBTQ due to a lack of past relationships. So, oh, you can't be gay because you've never been with a woman. Okay, you can't be straight because you've never been with a man. You see how that works? Anyways, some were subjected to claims that the AIDS epidemic. I feel like I can't fucking read. I'm a fucking college student and I sound so dumb. Or because I'm lacking sleep right now. Okay, some were subjected to claims that the AIDS epidemic was God's punishment and pressured to believe they would eventually become heterosexual. Anyways, in some cases, it was even suggested that leaving the program meant they would later return for HIV support. Manipulation at its finest. Okay. Conversion therapy for asexuals, aromantic, and eroes. Oh my god, I've never heard that term before. Am I lost? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna do some research on it, but it's eroes. Individuals does exist, with survivors sharing harrowing experiences of emotional and psychological manipulation. Now, many were falsely told their lack of attraction was a result of repressed childhood. Oh my god, of repressed childhood abuse. I hate this. I hate when they say shit like this. Often forced to confront family members for trauma that never happened, leading to destroyed relationships. Others experience extreme violations, including therapist coercion. Yes, and that's the real thing behind it. I must say that when I'm finished with the script, I have like a few more sentences to do. So, therapist coercion into discussing sexual fantasies, watching pornography, and engaging in inappropriate activities under the guise of treatment. Some survive Some survivors later recall these suppressed memories, questioning whether legal actions was possible, especially in cases where their abusers face criminal charges. These testimonies highlight the severe harm and long lasting trauma caused by conversion therapy. Okay, so this is my final thought. These are my final thoughts on conversion therapy. So basically, as you know, I completely stand against it. I hope they completely ban it one day because it's just child abuse. It's this guy's child abuse. I remember one of the stories I read on Reddit was of this little boy who his father paid a masseuse to give him an happy ending massage, and his father asked him how he felt, and he was like, "Oh, I felt nothing. If anything, that proves more that I am queer." And he said his father pulled him out on the side of the road of the car to berate him, and then when he reached home, the father started berating him and his mom. And he remember he got physical because he had slapped his dad. But his dad, like, literally violated him, like, violently beat him. And he said he cried himself to sleep the night. But eventually, I think they sent him. I don't remember if they actually sent him to therapy. But he's fully proud and out and is living his best life now. I love the stories of the survivors. I hate that they have to survive that. I hate that they even were there to even be put in that place in the first place. But you know, you have these stories for a reason. For those who are looking for ways of changing their sexuality, I you can fake it all your life, baby, but eventually you know what you want deep down. So you can live with that self hatred, or you can literally learn to love and accept yourself because who you are is never gonna change. It does not matter how many paint you rub over the wall. You're still gonna be that wall at the end of the day. That paint can always be stripped. You're gonna left that concrete wall because that's who you are. Do people change? Yes, but we're talking about sexuality. We're talking about love, attraction. I come from a country very homophobic, like violently homophobic. I don't think they even have conversion therapy in the country. That country is the conversion therapy itself. And then you have some of these people who are so called therapists, they're just perverted. They are perverted. It's as simple as that. It's sugarcoating. They are perverted. Because the things they have these children doing just so they can change their sexual orientation and their identity, baby. These therapists, these counselors doing this shit, it's perverted. And the sooner you all realize that that's what this is, the better it will be for the kids. Y'all always talking about, oh, protect the kids, but you're sending the kids straight into abuse, or because what, you don't want to have a gay son, you don't want to have a lesbian or transgender. What the what the actual fuck? Are you guys actually thinking about what you're actually doing? Are you guys thinking about the long term consequences, the short term consequences? Because what? You want temporary happiness? I think it's a selfishness when parents do things like that. It is a selfishness. You literally should not try to live your child's life, it's their life. You can teach them morals, you can teach them principles. You don't tell your child who to love. You explain to them what consent is. You explain to them what it means when someone says no. You explain to them not to steal, not to not to you say that, but how are you gonna have a child and that child's gonna feel comfortable enough to come to you and tell you they think they're gay? Hey mom, I'm gay. Hey dad, I think I'm a lesbian. Hey dad, I think I'm a girl. Hey dad, I think I'm a boy. Blah blah blah. I'm not attracted to anyone. And the first thought is like, oh, what the church is gonna say. Let me bring this to the pastor. Or I have a place for you. Girl, if you don't shut him out, if you don't shut up, it actually pisses me off because I think most of y'all need to go to a parenting class. But then again, who's gonna teach y'all? Because it's the same views, the same beliefs. The sooner y'all realize what you guys are sending your kids into, the sooner you will stop sending your kids into that, because it's literally child abuse disguise. Nothing happened. Nothing's work. Nothing has work. Nothing has work. Nothing has work. Oh my God, nothing has worked because you can't change the gay. You can't pray away the gay. You can't kill the gay. The gay is gonna be here. And it's here to stay. Y'all have to learn to live with that. Y'all have to learn to live with that. And it's always so funny to me when y'all say, oh, people, the LGBTQIA plus community is targeting the children, yet y'all do this. All in the name of God. Y'all need to actually have a relationship with God before y'all use God's name and justify y'all cruelty. Y'all need to try to understand what God represents before y'all use God's name as cruelty. Y'all need to take a back seat, observe your life, because and then again, some of the time it's just self-hatred, because you feel that way too. You feel that way, but guess your kids get the punishment, just so you can keep up the image. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna see if I can get some rest. I'm so fucking tired. I was up all night doing nothing more than research. I literally was. I have so much more information, but I don't want to. I really don't like the scripted videos, but I think I presented enough to get the topic across. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good time, a good rest of week, year, month, whenever I see y'all again. But anyways, thank you for tuning in, and this is my take or my honest opinion on the conversion therapy.